Hi, I'm Ken Moses from the National Warplane Museum, and very fortunate, feel very lucky to be a pilot on this B-17 sitting behind me. And this is Fuddy Duddy. This is the Queen of the Fleet for the National Warplane Museum. This aircraft has been in the museum fleet for about 12 years and was purchased out of Arizona in an auction. And the aircraft at that point in time was being used for a crop sprayer or bug sprayer, if you will. And we bought the airplane and been in the process of restoring the airplane ever since.
Here's the B-17 Fuddy Duddy on the takeoff roll. The National Warplane Museum's own B-17, one of only about 10 still flying in all of the world.
One of the things that we like to point out to people that up in the nose of the aircraft is the original Norden bomb sight that was such a top secret for the military during the war. It allowed us to do precision bombing, and that was a real key to the success of the B-17. B-17 was a very, very strong airplane, built like a bridge. The aircraft weighs anywhere from 40 to 50,000 pounds. It even had as high as 60,000 pound flying weight during the war. The airplane was overly built for the era and took tremendous battle damage. Directly behind the pilot and co-pilot, you can see the top turret with its twin 50 caliber machine guns. This turret could rotate 360 degrees and cover the top of the aircraft in front and behind. It was very awkward for the gunner to stand in that turret because he had to swivel around with it, and it got very congested behind the pilot and co-pilot and difficult to walk around and move around. You can see the opening in the side of the fuselage with a single 50 caliber machine gun. And we have plexiglass in ours, but during the war this was all open. And at 25 to 30,000 feet, it got so cold inside the aircraft that if you touched the bare metal of the aircraft with your fingers, they'd stick to it. Down below, we had the bottom turret that you had to climb in from inside the aircraft through a hatch and then shut the hatch behind you. And the gunner that sat in that turret had to be fairly small. A guy my height, a 6'2", could barely get in there, much less operate the guns inside there. Step into the side of the old B-17G, you might notice that it looks a little smaller inside than it does from the outside. The 50 caliber machine gun emplacements are kind of staggered so they didn't get in each other's way. And beside the 50 calibers, you can see the ammunition boxes that held the ammunition. And as they use these guns at altitude and firing at the fighters, the ammunition would roll around the floor, which made it also very difficult to walk under the extreme conditions they were under. As you step from the rear of the fuselage of the aircraft forward, the first room you come to is the radio operator's room. And this is where the radio operator would sit and do the communication between the aircraft and the ground. This is the office for the B-17 with the pilot and co-pilot set. Here we have the throttle quadrant, which is the throttle for each independent engine, 1, 4, 2, and 3, which you need to control separately. These levers down here control the RPM of the engine, and up here are the mixture controls for rich and idle cutoff and idle lean to control the fuel flow of the engines. The aircraft was capable of carrying many different bomb loads, up to 4,000 to 6,000 pounds, and under certain conditions, with a light load of fuel, they could carry up over 10,000 pounds of bombs. 500-pounders, 1,000-pound bombs, 200-pound bombs, all according to what the mission required as to what they loaded the aircraft with. Up here you have the business end of the aircraft. On your left is where the navigator sat, navigator's table and chair, and right in front of where the bombardier would sit. The Norden bomb sight is right in front of him. And on bombing missions, the pilot would actually turn control of the aircraft over to the bombardier so the bombardier could properly line up on the target and fly the aircraft to the target, at which time he'd say bombs away, and the pilot would once again retain control of the aircraft.
Notice the bomb bay doors are open on Fuddy Duddy on this pass.